Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the rebooted DoubleClutch.ca podcast. It's great to have everyone in studio. I'm joined by
Nathan Leipzig, deputy editor.
Imran, staff writer.
Rush, staff writer.
How you boys doing today?
Fantastic.
Pretty good. It's been a good day.
Hot day in August. That's all right.
Good thing the AC is running.
Badly.
So, what we got in the garage this week?
I'm driving a BMW X6 M60i. When do they start doing this M50, M40, M60 delineation
Well, the funny
thing?
thing is, everyone walked up to it and thought that M60. Oh my God, does it have V12 in it? I was like, what? No, it doesn't. It's got a V8 in it.
Yeah, because they're thinking the old 760.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even it's not even the old 760. Even the like FO1, FO2 760
Right.
would have been a V12.
They kept making the V12 that long?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Like in 2011 or 12, you could purchase a V12 BMW.
I don't think I've ever
7
seen
Series.
one. Yeah, so that, which does not have a V12, is pretty good. I don't love it. It drives like a typical big BMW. It's very good. It's also just a stupid crossover thing that I'm not sure should exist.
Great spec though.
And
On
the
a principle
color,
It's an
level.
amazing spec.
I love
It is
Holy
a
shit.
stunning spec. Shout out to JF at BMW for specking that. I think it's
Yeah.
He's
what's
kind
the
of the
color?
guy.
I can't remember the
Isle
name
of
of the
Man.
color. It's Isle of Man green.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's right. It's
fantastic, yeah.
absolutely stunning. Like it is such a pretty crossover
That's the
monstrosity
thing, though. Like even that thing, and like I am a BMW man through and through, and quite recently I've decided that okay, it's time to come around to the fact that they're kind of ugly.
Uh-huh.
yes.
But
A
Isle
little
of Man
bit.
green makes everything better.
Yeah, it just fixes everything, and it doesn't have the giant schnoz.
The purple that we had in what was it? No,
It
blue.
was the blue.
Purple Z4.
The purple
I had the
Z4
purple
presser.
Z4.
That was
The
That was a
blue
great
M8.
color, too.
Yeah,
Like very very nice. Oh, the
Yeah.
army green X3M.
yeah, that we had last
that
year.
we
That
had
was
last year.
terrific,
Oh my God,
yeah.
it was terrific. Yeah.
Yeah, and like my M850 was like San Marino, the bright blue that looked like
It
$1
was
million bucks on
it
that
was
car.
really nice.
Yeah, all those colors, they're a home run.
Yeah, JF, nicely done.
10 out of 10. Now that we mentioned, actually, so regarding the M8 and the M850, we had the M8 comp last week. Phenomenal car. It's fast. It doesn't have the big grills on there.
Yep.
It is pretty.
It's
I
gorgeous.
think
Yeah.
I like it.
I can't figure out who that was for.
I'm not a BMW guy. I don't dislike them, but I'm generally not.
Why
I
not,
never.
though?
And right now, man.
My heart.
I have never owned a BMW. I've
Yeah.
owned many cars,
Yeah.
and that M8, I loved it. Like I thought it was. I was staring at it, the reflection through glass buildings, and I was like, "Holy
Wow.
crap! This
That's
thing
one of
looks
those cars though. You catch yourself
good.
looking at it
Yeah.
as often as you can.
Yeah,
And,
and
it
it-
sounds so ridiculous,
and it-
but like
and it
Come on.
drives like it drives the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's exactly what
Yeah.
you
It
expect.
drives like a big
But I
missile.
think-
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nick and I had this conversation today or yesterday where it's the fact is who's buying an M8
Competition.
with
Yeah.
it's the carbon buckets
It's too heavy for what it's,
that
first of
ruin it
all.
for me.
Yeah. Like it's got like race car seats, and those are like the same as in like the ridiculous M3 CS we had a few weeks ago, where like they're
It hurts me.
impossible to
Those-
get in and out of.
Yeah.
Bolsters are a killer.
They're killer, right? And so they really take away from like the daily ability of the car. They look gangster, but they really take away from the daily ability of the car.
And that's the thing, like with an M8, you're buying it so that you can drive it.
Yeah.
Like it isn't a car that you keep in the garage and take to the track. It isn't a car
Yeah.
that you do anything like
Yeah.
that with.
It's
so
still a 4,300-pound GT car. Like, there's
exactly.
no getting around
It's meant for cruising and like destroying highways. But how do you do that when you're not comfortable?
Yeah, it's when you're in the seats, they're comfortable. But,
I know.
Yeah.
But
Getting
it's,
in and out is a massive
Yeah.
pain in
Yeah.
the dick.
It's like you buy that 8 Series as like a DBS light. You know, if
Yeah.
you can't,
Yeah. I
you can't
understand what you're
afford a
saying.
DBS,
Yeah,
you end up
that
in
tracks,
a
and it has like
yeah.
that same kind of like presence, just
Yeah.
being a big coupe, right? It just is visually very commanding.
Yeah, like very much so.
Yeah.
It's got good presence.
The seats
Like,
make no sense, but with that 8 Series, what you should end up getting is an 850
Absolutely.
convertible. I think that's what that
Yeah.
car
And I
is
think
made
that's
for.
Yeah.
more of an occasion driving that with the top down and enjoying it in that respect.
That
then
tracks.
I think that
Yeah.
getting the extra 10% or 15% performance out of the M8 comp doesn't
Yeah,
do it for
and
you.
And saving $50,000, $40,000.
60, I think. So
Pretty
like, I
much.
think we all kind of agree the M850 that I had was a car we'd
Sweet
rather
spot.
own over
Oh,
the M8
absolutely.
Comp. Yeah. And that's still ridiculously fast. It's like more than enough car than you'll ever need. And I think so. My tester was 137. Like
Yeah,
out,
that's
and
good value. considering
Actually,
what it
like
is.
relatively good compared to like what you would get from Porsche. Like, the amount of people that use 911s
Yeah.
as like daily cruisers, and they're not using like the performance envelope of the vehicle ever
Absolutely.
at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
disagree with that. And actually, this is something interesting that Ben So, our editor in chief, shout out Ben. Hi Ben. He actually pointed out that you don't get the crystal controls in the M8 that you do get in the M850i.
Yes.
That's
But-
a bit of a weird miss for what's supposed to be like a flagship.
You see who
Top
noticed
spec
that
coupe.
though? The exact person that you would think
Yeah.
would notice that. And I'm not
course
saying
Ben would pick
anything.
that,
Well, what I am saying is the man the man was looking for something and he didn't see it.
Yeah.
That's
He's got a good eye for like detail
Details.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
It's like
definitely.
this car has this but doesn't have this, and it should have this for this price tag. Like,
Yeah.
He's-
But I
he's-
think the crystal controls honestly are kind of really gaudy and I don't enjoy them. It's the same. Okay, we had this S class in here this
Yeah.
week. This 22
two, yeah.
S580, and okay, don't get me wrong. I know I just said I'm a BMW guy, so everyone's gonna.
Glom
Yeah.
on you, yeah. Man's a hater.
But like the interior feels really overdone. Like there's too much lighting, there's too many materials, there's too much going on. It does not feel classy anymore. It just feels like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it just feels like a big tech showcase
Like it's
for the
it's-
kids.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like okay, it's as if they sat down and were like, oh, what makes things expensive?
Yeah.
yeah. Let's do that. Lights,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shiny?
More gloss?
Shiny?
Yeah.
Shiny, yeah.
More lines? Yeah.
But it's like okay, and then we have this 92 or 95 S600
Yeah.
in the shop, and I'm like, wait a second, but this thing is pure class.
Yeah.
Because it's built really well, all the materials flow
Yeah.
well together.
Yeah, it's cohesive.
That's the thing, and,
Yeah.
and there was like small touches, like you were in the back seat and you could push a button and the headrest folds down.
Yeah.
But it's the way that it's done. It's like okay, the parcel shelf folds down, the headrest folds into it. Like it's
Yeah, it's
fantastic
so
engineering.
nice.
Versus the new S class is just like more of whatever they're trying to.
Yeah. And it's a weird
Tell
thing to
you it's
say
expensive.
on like what was a $200,000 like pseudo limousine, but like there's nothing on there that, for lack of a better term, doesn't need to be there. There's nothing gaudy. Like there's a
That's
lot of
exactly
frills you don't need, but it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas like you and I, Imran, were talking about this when we were just out in the Impreza RS that we have this week, which we'll circle back around to.
more on
But
that
like
later.
uniformity of materials, right?
Oh.
Like in that Benz, this
Well,
old
Subaru's not
S600
great
that
at
we
that, is
have,
it?
it's like you have leather, the Mercedes vinyl, like soft touch, whatever, and wood. That's it. Whereas
Yeah.
like in a lot of newer cars and like in this S580,
Yeah.
it's like matte plastic, gloss plastic, silver gloss plastic, matte silver gloss plastic. Like it's just like
But in my recent memory, the car that is worse for that was the Crosstrek.
Yeah.
Oh my
So the
yeah,
Lord.
that's how we got onto it. Yeah.
the Crosstrek Onyx, which I had 2 weeks ago, fine car. It drives okay. It's comfortable enough. Whatever. It's roomy. Whatever. But I just couldn't get over the lack of cohesiveness in the interior. There's a lot going on in terms of like
Yeah.
textures and materials.
The gray plastic drove me nuts.
Yeah.
And the fact that there was different levels of gray plastic everywhere. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is like, this reminds me of like, I don't know, like a taxi? Well, like a school bus? I don't know. You know, like that cheap leather material that they had on school bus seats? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It literally had it
The
on
ones that
the-
wipe
on the
clean.
door panels.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I
Like
was
a police car, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like,
I figured because it was the Onyx trim, so it's like it's not quite fully loaded. I figured because it wasn't quite a fully loaded trim level that okay, the materials will be slightly shittier. But apparently, even the Limited is like that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like
John had the Limited.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I shot John's Limited Crosstrek a
Yeah.
few weeks ago, and like it's the exact same in there. It's just instead of gray plastic, it's black, but like 5 different shades of black.
And it's the materials. Like, it's
Yeah,
they
and
all
it's-
feel cheap.
Yeah, and
They're
it's not like
all very
it's not like an
hollow.
Archer
Yeah.
joke where like it's a slightly darker black. It's just like 5 different shades of black. It's kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's it's just a Subaru thing.
But
Like I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
their interiors are.
They need some work.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels like the dash and doors were designed by like a committee, a huge committee, and they weren't talking to each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
you
oh,
really
here's
get
what we've
that
done.
vibe.
Here's what we've done. Oh.
Send
feel
it.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
I feel like the Impreza we have this week is a little better in that regard because it's still like a bit of a mess inside in terms of like a lack of cohesiveness, but at least it's all black.
I would almost rather the gray to break it up,
The
as
one
opposed
thing
to
that
just
drives
shades of black.
me nuts though about any Subaru is infotainment. Like it just feels like a toddler design. Those
I literally
You
just
mentioned
said
that,
the
yeah.
same
Imran
thing.
mentioned
We
that,
just
yeah.
went for a
You know what it is?
drive.
It's
Yeah.
like, you know, if you go on AliExpress, and I'm showing how cheap I am now, but if you go on AliExpress and you like search for like head units or whatever, and you're like, yo, this is sick. It's like, you know, an $80 full CarPlay like head unit. That's what that is. Like the typeface, the buttons, like the way that everything looks is AliExpress.
It's also kind of laggy too. Like, I didn't really notice.
I tried to adjust the climate control in it today, and it took 7 button presses for it to finally register that I was trying to cool the car down,
Wow.
which also was a little frustrating.
Yeah, a little
Like,
bit.
what's wrong with buttons that are physical and just do the thing that they're supposed to
I
do?
mean, that's not only Subaru's problem.
Well,
Yeah,
it also
but
has.
it's particularly bad when manufacturers that are a little bit more budget oriented do it, because we can end up.
Or when Volkswagen does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You have no experience with
Yeah,
that.
I hate it.
I
I hate it. I own the car and I hate it.
That's true. That's true.
Speaking of the Impreza and hatchbacks, I had the Civic.
Yeah.
Sport Touring.
Yeah.
And speaking of interiors, that is a completely different class.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
But honestly, I really like the Civic. There's something about it. Even the base Civic, I'm like, wow, this is a nice car. Like
Yeah.
for a car, this is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How much was your presser last week, Imran?
I should know this, and I didn't look it up
Wait,
again.
you
And we
had-
we had this problem before.
I think like the like a loaded sport touring, they're like what, mid
Yeah, you have the,
30s, I think.
It's like-
you're
Really?
the hatchback, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good
Sport
value.
Touring
That's pretty good
hatchback.
value when like it's like leather everything. You have that cohesiveness of materials like in
It
the
looks pretty
Mercedes
nice.
that we like.
It
So,
feels
It's
really good.
good
inside.
infotainment. You have like physical touch controls. They drive great.
So
And a
this
volume
is-
knob.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a volume knob.
They had to bring that back though, didn't they?
and
Yeah,
and
they
the
learned their lesson on that.
tactile feel of the climate control.
We were talking
Yeah.
about that. It literally clicks like a freaking Audi.
Yeah, yeah.
oh,
Like,
like the super clicky.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
great.
I really like that.
It's
Yeah,
great.
that's fantastic.
It's satisfying.
But
yeah.
that feels quality and luxury in a way that throwing laser lights and whatever at things just doesn't.
Well, let me say this: I had the M8 comp for a day or two.
Yep.
And no, they're not the same car. They're not just as fun. But I had no problem getting back into the Civic. Like I was like,
That's a statement.
I was totally
That's-
content. Like
That's quite.
it's just it's a good place to be.
You didn't feel like it was a step down in a way where you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna have fun in a different way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just like I wasn't disappointed
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
going back into the Civic.
And
Yes, it's a
that's-
different
yeah.
car,
Yeah.
but
To an extent, it's a little more gutless than the M8.
slightly. Slightly.
Oh.
by like 2/3,
Oh,
Maybe a little bit.
maybe more.
fine. Well, like, yeah, when you're going down 150 grand down the price tunnel, like you would expect to kind of hate it, and the Civic
you
is good
didn't.
enough that you don't.
Yeah.
Like it's good car.
That's the thing.
VTEC.
It handles well.
Even
Just
my
kidding.
base
It kicks on hard, bro.
base Civic, I think I had a touring or whatever.
Yeah, you had a touring
I had like
last
a
year.
regular sedan like last year, and I was like, oh, I kind of don't want to get this back because it's such a good regular
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, your Accord?
Yeah,
That
no,
was a
Civic.
Oh, okay.
So,
Did I have an Accord?
You had an
I had an
Accord too.
Accord.
I remember I shot your Accord. You had an Accord too. Yeah. It's a big Civic. They're
Yeah,
great cars.
but
yeah.
I did really enjoy it. Actually, no, I remember that Accord now.
Hmm.
But the Civic made an impression. I was really impressed.
Yeah.
And just everything about it. As you guys know, I have a baby, and the TLX I have today.
Yeah.
Getting the child seat into the back seat is a little bit challenging. Funny enough,
Yeah.
Civic,
No
no
problem.
problem.
Wow.
Yep.
well, even the previous gen Civic even the previous gen Civic hatch was on the bigger end for the compact segment too. So it doesn't surprise me that this one's also like cavernous inside.
Yeah, that tracks. Honda's use of space and like pragmatism with like how things are laid out is like top notch, 11 out of 10, ridiculous in everything they make. And I feel like, kind of a shit take, I feel like an Acura is just a Honda that's been made worse. Like, how do you take a Honda that's already pretty well perfect for what it is and make it better? You don't. You just put more shit on it, and that's worse.
Yeah, very much so. I find with the Civic, like many of us here, like we like weird cars. We
Absolutely.
like weird stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm generally contrarian. So
Yeah,
I
we
never
all have
want
terrible
like
taste in cars,
like
yeah.
I haven't
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I have not watched Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad because they're too popular. Like I don't know why. So I try to stay away from what's popular.
Cool.
But whenever a family member or a friend asks like, what car should I get? They just want something
GTI. No.
that's easy, that's simple. You know, they're not necessarily car people. Like I say Civic 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, every single time.
First of all, Miata is always the answer. Second of all, my go-to answer used to be the Mazda 3, but having spent a couple of days in your Civic, I think I'm going to have to change my answer because it was
If you like
really
Rust, I would definitely say the Mazda 3.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Really? So like, I had a Mazda 3 as like one of my earlier pressers last year. I absolutely adored that thing. It was
they're
like
great cars.
It was a driver spec, so it was like the bigger naturally
Driver
aspirated
spec.
engine with kind of driver spec.
spec.
Shut up! Get out of here.
Driver spec.
It had the
Get
slightly
outta
bigger,
here.
naturally aspirated engine, no all-wheel drive to weigh things down, and 3 pedals. It was glorious, and I loved
Sorry,
it, and
can
I
you say
felt
that one
bad to
more time?
return it. It was.
It was
what?
driver spec?
Yes, it was driver spec.
I think. Oh, wait, I had one that was the complete opposite. That was, I guess, not the driver spec.
Well, you had the fast spec.
It's automatic.
I also
Fast,
had
automatic, comfortable, and a regular
Okay,
everyday car.
okay. Pardon me. Okay,
But it was red.
Okay, so I had a gray
all
one.
red.
I had a gray
This
one
is
of your
great.
car. No, hang on. I had a red. I gotta call it purist spec now. Someone's being a
Purist.
wiener about it. And then I had a gray driver spec
Oh,
like yours.
Good lord.
Both were good, but all this to say, I thought the 3 was great, fantastic car. Like it's got way more personality and it drives fantastic, and I think it looks a little better. But to each their own.
No,
The
wait,
Civic
wait,
looks very
you know,
good.
yeah, it
The Civic
does.
looks very good,
Yeah.
but like it's come such a long way in this new generation that like I would recommend one over a 3 as well. They're really good.
The only problem with the Civic Sport, it's not made in Canada.
Really?
Are-
Isn't that weird?
are they
How
still made in the UK?
The regular Civic is made in Canada, but the Sport is made in the U.S.
Huh.
Oh,
Interesting.
U.S.
Kinda strange.
Interesting.
But also, I don't know. Okay, the Mazda 3 was really nice,
Yeah.
but I felt like it was missing something.
Yeah. Power.
No, mine had power.
Independent rear
Oh.
Mine had
suspension.
turbo.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Did you put like?
Mine was auto.
Yes, they're all auto.
No,
but, like.
but not a CVT. Like, it was good. It was
Yeah,
good
it
power.
was auto. Okay, so here's the thing with mine. For the first bit that I had mine, I was like, yeah, there is something kind of missing.
No, I
and
put premium in it.
you did put premium in it. Okay,
And
so thanks for taking that away from me. They run a lot better on premium. For everyone listening.
What? Yeah, that is true. You know what? I did think of that, but no. I
There
think-
was something missing, and then I put 94 in it, and I found it.
Yeah, but who puts
Yeah.
who puts 94 in a fucking Mazda 3?
See, that's the problem.
Well, dinks like me. Look at
You
the
are-
amount of guys that like have 3s that have tuned them, that have done like
Tune.
driver car bro-y
Yeah, but-
stuff to them, that obviously care about their car above and beyond a normal
For
person.
every-
They
right,
would
but
put
we're
93 in
But
them.
we're talking like regular people for regular people.
Yeah,
Like it's
Right.
an automatic. Like
Okay, but
it's
hold
the
the
people who are
phone.
financing a Mazda 3
have
at
you guys like been to the
7.9%.
internet ever? Like the amount of people in comment sections that say like, "No, bro, the Mazda 3 is the new GTI. It's just not
Actually,
a stick."
well, the
Like,
funniest thing is most of the
Literally not.
didn't
no,
most
with,
of
with
the,
with the turbo, like it's pretty fast. It can keep with the GT3. It's faster than a GTI. I was gonna say GT3. It can't keep up with the GT3. It can keep up with the
Definitely
GTI. It's got more power. Like it, like a lot of people are saying, it's
how much
this
horsepower
like kind of
does your
soft
GTI
GTI.
have, roughly?
244. 241.
Yeah.
Quite a
241.
bit.
Yeah, and the 3 is at 250 and 320
That's the
foot-pounds.
thing.
Yeah.
That's what.
Has a lot
Okay,
more
I think
torque.
that's what shocked me. It's like
Yeah.
it had it on
It's got
paper.
torque
It
for
was
days.
like wow, but driving, you're like, whatever.
Oh, really?
Well, it's
I
probably
kind
a
of
pretty
feel like
conservative tune.
I felt like with the GTI is the opposite. Like the
Yeah.
GTI is kind of surprises me. Like it's
Yeah,
I
those things are
really was
boogie, yeah.
pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
with GTI.
Yeah, I love the GLI last year. That car was great.
What's a GLI?
It's a Jetta.
Okay.
Dumbass.
Why do you hate me? Why do you hate everything I like?
I don't. What do we both like?
You're not selling it.
We like BMWs.
We like BMWs, yeah.
We like same-ish generation BMWs.
Yeah.
Old, gross.
Old, gross,
Dumb.
dumb.
And, we like a lot of dumb stuff. I think we
Yeah.
mutually have a shared interest of a lot of dumb cars.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't hate everything that you say this a lot.
Yeah, because you hate everything I like.
No, I'm an empath, man. I sense in your feel. I'm sensing. Are you upset with me?
No, I'm not upset with you. I just feel like you hate everything I like, and this is a fun meme to poke you with now.
This is true. This is true. No, hang on.
Since we've
okay,
since
what do I,
established that you
what
like
do
the-
I actually not like that? Oh, okay, the Mazda 3, I genuinely did not. Last year, you came to us with the conclusion that that was one of the best cars he's ever driven, and I just have to disagree.
Okay, fair. I've come around a little bit. It's still great.
Yeah, but you've matured now.
I have matured now.
Matured.
Matured.
What
Well,
else?
Well, it's no Escape PHEV, which is also what we have this
I
week. That's
don't
for sure.
mind the Escape PHEV.
Dude, what is wrong? Okay, I hate everything you like. That thing is.
Yeah, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe
Wait,
you
hang
hate
on.
everything.
Wait, hang on. How spiced are we supposed to be on this?
What? Are you gonna say?
Be you.
I
Rubber
don't.
dog
Just don't get us
I-
canceled, okay?
I don't care for it.
No, tell us how you really feel.
I think it is bad and also not good. I think it is the most generic appliance-y piece of shit I have ever driven.
But that's what people want.
Yeah, I think that's what it's meant
That is
to
what
be.
some people want, but it's like it is so deliberate. Especially, it could just be the spec of the tester that we had this
White?
week because it's white on gray with white on black with like light gray inserts. Like it looks like so many of the bad kitchens I installed a couple years ago for the pandemic.
Give
Like,
me the U-Haul spec.
yeah, it looks like a Maytag. Like
You know what?
it is-
Maybe I liked. Okay, maybe I have a soft spot for the Escape PHEV because it was my first press car, and
It's
also,
probably that.
mine was
Also,
blue.
also they're getting uglier.
They are getting uglier.
That was a very difficult
and
photo
the
shoot
build
today.
quality on the one that
is-
I had, which I don't think I let on in my review because I wasn't sure. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Like it was my first review I've ever written. I was like, oh, is this a good car? Is it not? But the build quality was quite poor.
Yeah. And we've seen
Yeah.
that in a few Fords. What
In a
was
few
it? Ben's Lincoln is like having its infotainment acting up right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Also, the
Literally
Maverick
picked it
when we
up.
first got it, like had like a cubby in the dash, and the insert for the cubby was slightly too small for the cubby.
Right.
Like what was it? Thomas had one.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was also a couple years ago when the Mavericks first launched, but
That's not really an
the,
excuse.
the
like,
one I had like 2 months ago, I'd say the fit and finish in that interior was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I had
so maybe
the
they're coming around.
I had the F-150 Heritage Edition. And
Heritage.
Heritage.
Truck, yeah.
Literally a trim package.
yeah, literally two-tone paint.
Wow.
That's it.
Wait, hang on.
essentially.
What two colors were the paint?
It was black and gray.
Wow. That's
Oh, like
so
all the kitchens I
inspiring.
Wait, like a
installed. It's like this
metallic
Escape.
gray?
No, like a chalky gray.
Because I've seen some. Okay, I think they're all like Harley Davidson F-150s, with the, and they have like
right.
a orange stripe or something on them. And I feel like two-tone with an orange stripe would actually look pretty good.
But the interior of the F-150, like the fit and finish, was actually solid.
What about the shifter? Didn't you have some issue with that? It was like
Oh
rattling or
yeah, that was
something?
kind of rattly. But I mean, they have this innovative thing where you press a button and it goes down, and you have that workbench that flips over. So I give that a
You know
pass.
what they can also do? Just put buttons, like park, reverse,
No.
neutral.
No.
No.
No,
But they can do that.
Acura,
Stop, 1 second.
no.
No buttons, no knobs.
No.
Like no.
But
no,
how is that?
0%.
How is that any better? It was a floppy knob that he had in his
I will
It,
take a
it was a what?
a floppy
I
knob.
will take a floppy knob over a button or a wait, a floppy knob or a floppy shifter.
Oh,
It's a shifter.
He had a floppy knob.
I don't have a floppy knob.
Oh, sorry. The truck had a floppy shifter. Yeah, that's what it was. It had a floppy shifter that, like, okay, and explain to me if it has to go out of the way, like it has to do this like fancy party trick where it
Yeah.
folds away. Just put buttons in it and
No.
have a tray table.
Drive the TLX that I have right now, and
Yeah.
then you're not going to
Yeah, because-
Why?
Because that shifter
Ford
is terrible.
Yeah, I think they're thinking it's like truckmans want big shifter
Okay.
things, so they feel like more
It's tough and
truckmans.
aggressive.
But let me
feels
ask you a
girthy in
question.
my hands.
What's the difference between that little shifter thing and buttons? Truthfully.
Buttons are for Lincoln.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying.
That's sure,
You
yes.
don't have a
Also,
good
buttons
reason.
are bad.
Well,
Buttons are bad for shifter things.
I was gonna say a few seconds ago
Yes.
you
Yes,
thought buttons
thank
were
you-
fantastic.
Yes, thank you for correcting me. Buttons are bad for shifter things
Why?
because they're bad.
I don't really enjoy them. I just think that look, I'd rather have a regular shifter.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you're gonna do this, floppy up-down shifter thing, why not just put buttons?
Okay, hang on. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I found the medium for this because everyone's been like trying
But
to branch
Dodge
it
has
out
like a
with-
little knob.
Dodge has the knob, and that sucks. And
Yeah.
and like in the nicer Ram, like the Rebel GT, the sporty ones, it's a lever thing
Ram.
for men.
Mm.
Right? Like, so everyone's like trying to do like buttons or knobs or whatever because they've realized there doesn't need to be a physical lever with a
Right.
linkage anymore. And I
they've
feel
been
like
doing that for ages.
I feel like the answer
Yeah.
is in the BMW I have this week with like just the tiny little lever thing, the crystal lever thing. It
Okay.
doesn't have to be crystal,
Okay,
obviously,
but here's
it's
what I'm
just
saying.
like it's just the tiniest
Or like
lever.
Ben would be
and I
very
think
upset if
that-
it was not crystal.
Well, of course you.
The
would,
Benz of this
fancy
world
boy,
would be
yeah.
upset if it was not
Or
crystal.
like the brawn shaver of the 911. Like
There you go. Yeah, I think
I
something like
actually
that
don't
would be
mind
fine. Yeah, like just the littlest shifter, right? So it's something you don't have to think about. It's just right there. You flick it. Shit.
so like a
It's good.
Yeah.
familiarity with little knobs.
No comment.
Let's keep this PG.
But
Oh, now we got to start doing that.
They're long past that.
yeah, I don't know. But you get what I'm saying. Do you or do you not?
What are we talking about?
Small knobs. Oh, sorry, floppy knobs.
Floppy
Oh,
knobs.
God, sorry, buttons. I don't know.
Floppy shifter. It wasn't even that floppy. It just had a bit of slack in it.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that, the fit and finish of the F-150 was pretty good. And again, I give that floppy shifter a pass because of that workbench thing that they have, because that's pretty clever.
This is like
Yeah.
same thing with like airplane design. People like for years have been talking about like, oh, you need a yoke in front of you to like control the aircraft, and then Airbus is like, no, how about we just give them a tray table? And the professionals you talk to that have the tray table are like, yes, this is fantastic. Get rid of all the buttons, get rid of all the knobs, and just put a big table there. Is what you're saying?
All
can
cars should
have-
have coffee tables. You
I
heard it
think
here
so.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, picnics here.
Put a full kitchen in the F-150.
Why not? It's big enough.
I want a fridge somewhere.
I mean, they already smell like kitchens. They probably could.
Okay, the smell. We've gotten back to the smell.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
do, they do truly smell awful.
Yeah, so Nick was trying to cue me up for a bit that I had earlier today after I took this Escape out for a drive. So, like, my mom has always had Fords, and my mom has always had dogs. So I always assumed that Fords smell like dog. And over the
old
last
lady.
year, with the Fords we've had through the shop and with our press Fords, I've come to learn that Fords just inherently tend to smell like just like a gym bag full of dog food. Every single one. I don't get it.
Absolutely.
I don't understand how or
It's
why.
a very specific
Yeah.
dog foodie,
Okay,
yeah,
but, like,
it's
BO smell.
very dog food.
What
Like,
kind of dog food? Like Purina?
Cheap
Lion?
kibbles.
Yeah.
Cheap kibbles. I don't get it. Like, and I get in this Escape, and they all like what's it? The Bronco I had smelled like dog food. The F-150 I had last year smelled like dog food. The Mustang smelled like very faintly of dog food.
You know,
You couldn't smell over like the obsession
it's
for
you.
dirt bags.
You know,
cologne
no,
that was
I
in
feel
it.
like-
no, it's not me.
look, I feel like the first couple press cards that I had
Yeah.
from different manufacturers, every time I got in, like 3 in a row, it was the radio was set to orchestra music.
Yeah. Oh, that's
like
that's
every single time.
I know what that is. That's a Media Fleet thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But
Oh.
so I was figuring
Yeah,
maybe
because mine did that too. Yeah.
maybe some of the other press guys have
No.
dogs.
Honestly, though, new car smell in general, I feel like makes me feel kind of sick.
Yeah.
You know what? The smell of new Hondas and
Mazda's really I like have a really
Toyota?
distinct smell.
like sometimes you get in them, and if they're like pretty box fresh, like sometimes I'm like, this is too much. Like I gotta drive with the windows down, and maybe
Yeah.
I'm just like too sensitive or
No,
whatever.
it's like very
but, like,
chemically. Like I noticed that in the Mazda CX-90 I had. Amazing vehicle, but like when a girl I was seeing got in, she's like, "Oh my god, this thing reeks."
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you kind of like everyone's like, oh, trained to be like, oh yeah, new car smell. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I think new
It's
car smell is
terrible.
lost. It's just kind of bad now. Or it
But
smells like
you know
dog
why?
food.
It's because they're not using good materials anymore.
Yeah, well, like
want
apparently
a
dog
mile-
food, just like repressed dog food in the
Recycled
Escape
dog food.
Hybrid. That thing was so upsetting, and I figured it would clear as I drove it, as it so often does, and it just got worse. It was just like exponential magnified dog food. I had a Mercedes that had literal dog food in the backseat under the battery tray that I found out a year after I was doing some work on it, and it didn't smell as much like dog food as this Escape does, which
smell like
presumably.
crayons?
Say again.
Do they smell like crayons?
No, that's Volkswagen.
No, that's BMWs. That's old BMWs. Crayons.
Yeah,
Like-
but it's like a little bit of mildew,
Melty.
a little bit of mildew and crayons.
Yes.
Yeah, all
But
old
it's a
cars smell kind of like
fantastic smell.
mildew and crayons.
That's like a very comforting smell.
Yeah.
Every single time I come back to my E39 after I've not driven for a while, I'm like, oh wow.
Oh, dude, I get the same thing when I get in mine. It's,
Oh yeah. Let's go. And whenever I get an Imran's Boxster when it's here, I'm like, oh yeah.
how much time do we have allotted for car smells? We apparently have a lot to say on this topic.
It's a whole science.
I just think of the snorting sounds, and that's just. That's,
Hopefully it translates
that's-
because I'm trying to.
You're
give
selling
you-
the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. As
But-
long as you're just smelling and nothing's going up there.
Your car, I don't know. Oh shit. Yeah, no. Out, no. Out, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
What?
Who knows, man? I'm lost.
You're not invited to come back. I'm sorry. This is
Wow, you can have a boring podcast without me. That's fine.
no, it's okay. You're always welcome, Rush.
Thank you. I was sad there for a little bit, actually. It's like, wow, really? First shot and I blew
No.
it?
No, we still love you. So I was scrolling through various. I was scrolling through the internet today, and one of the
I went on the internet today.
I did go on the internet today. I did.
That's derivative.
Yeah.
And I was bombarded with headlines that apparently, almost half of new Supras sold this year in the States are stick. And is that really that surprising?
Yes.
I'm a little surprised it's not higher, to
absolutely.
be honest.
Really?
Really?
I think that's way over what they should be.
Look, I joke that my Boxster has the best theft deterrent device, which is a
Yeah.
manual transmission. Like the fact that it's 50%, I'm
shocked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm excited. I'm happy about that. That
Yeah.
there's still people out there buying manuals.
Yeah, but like, look at who's buying the Supra. It's not an M3 where like
Who's buying a 911?
posers will get in that, right? Because it's a sedan, they just want to flex on hose, right? Or like a 911 where you just want to get in and flex, right? Like if you're buying a Supra, it is a small, impractical, not particularly
what I would-
comfortable sports car that costs a lot of money, and like everyone wanted a stick from day one. Now they got it, and everyone's grabbing them up. I'm
It's-
surprised the take rate's not higher.
It's the surprised Pikachu meme. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm not surprised at all that people are snapping.
But
up
you know
stick
what I would be
Supras.
like? Oh, do we have the numbers on the BRZ or the 86? What do they call it now? Like stick versus auto, because that would be interesting. Because that is a car where
That-
you would think that a lot of people would go stick because of
Yeah.
the type of car it is. The Supra though, it is a little bit more upmarket. Like I feel like,
Like-
and that being said, the auto in it, or is it DCT?
No, it is the
The
ZF8.
ZF8.
I think-
is fantastic.
Yeah, the ZF8 is so good. It's actually in a lot of ways a lot better than the 6-speed. Like,
Yep.
I think it's just that purist crowd, and I think the only reason why it's not higher is because you have the guys that have gotten in the ZF8 and are like,
Wow, this is really
"Yo,
good."
this is objectively superior."
Yeah. I don't know.
Instead of pretending to live out my video game fantasies of like banging
Oh.
through gears, you can actually just do it
Yeah.
in the ZF8.
78% of BRZs.
Or sold with a stick.
Yeah.
See, that makes
That
sense
tracks.
to me.
Everyone with the facts.
That tracks. That makes a lot of sense.
The internet.
Yeah.
Although it bears mentioning, I drove an auto BRZ last year. Not bad. That was actually pretty good.
Oh my
Like I was
God.
expecting it to be. No, I was expecting it to be a tragedy, and
Okay,
it was
but that's just
honestly
like, you
quite
know,
good.
aiming low and avoiding disappointment.
Yeah. Do you not do that?
Oh, yeah, but like,
You're just being contrarian because you hate everything I like.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wait, what kind of auto was in that thing? Or is it CVT?
No, it was a real auto, and I think it was, I don't know, 8 or 10 speed, some whatever.
Like 8 or 10.
No, it's 6.
Six beats.
It's
Is it really a 6?
It's an
Okay,
HM.
whatever. Some generic garbage, but it was good generic garbage.
In the BRZ.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I drove that car.
Yeah.
And I thought it was quite good too.
Yeah, like for what it was, actually pretty good.
Well, look at you actually agreeing with Nathan on something.
Wow.
Actually, I don't like it.
Oh.
Suddenly, I don't like it.
Sucks.
Back to that Supra though. That 50%.
I think it's like 47, but like it's basically
Still very
50%.
healthy. Very healthy business case to keep it going.
Yeah.
But the thing, like when you think
kinda
about
makes me
when you
happy.
think about the BRZs and the 86s or whatever they're called now, you know, the price point's obviously significantly lower, and whether this is an assumption or not, like I think people who are one of their first sports cars or whatnot, they're going to end up buying a manual. The Supra, there is a flex to it. After you get past a certain price point, everything just becomes a flex today.
There is a
Like,
flex to it, yeah.
But that's kind of
and
what
the
I was getting at is, you know, the 86 is, for a lot of people, you know, we've had a couple of customers come through the shop where it's like, yeah, this is my first car, and, you know, my
Right.
parents were nice enough to buy me something cool, and they bought me an 86, and it's stick. And I was like, okay, that's awesome.
rad.
Yeah, it's like a learner. It's like
Yeah.
a learner
That's a
car,
great
right?
starter.
Like
But then
it's-
if you think about it, like the Supra is not small potatoes, you know, like
And not
cheap.
It costs quite a bit of money.
Yeah. And
It is a
very,
good
very
car.
fast.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's a different crowd.
Yeah,
Like, to make enough money to buy a Supra, you have to have a real job, probably.
probably.
No, it depends what you do. Whatever.
Or extremely
Anyways,
generous
Yeah.
parents. Yeah.
But, like, what I'm saying is, like, do you really want to get in your Supra at the end of the day and have to roll the gears to get home? I don't know if you do.
really, why not?
I
Why
don't think a
not?
lot of people are using Supras as primary cars is the thing.
Yeah, I think.
So you
with
think it's
Nathan
like
on
a
this one.
secondary?
I
Yeah.
think they're secondary
Yeah.
cars, and that's why the
So
take rate
instead
would
of
be so
buying
high.
something like a Boxster,
Yeah, it's like it's their summer car.
Yeah, it's
Like,
for all the
that's their
guys that grew
weekend
up
car.
like, yeah, with a Supra ideology of like, yo, Supra's boss, get a Supra.
you know what? You know what would be interesting to see in a little while? How many continue to be stick? Because maybe it's hype, right? Like 47% might just
Yeah.
be like, oh my god, they made it with the stick. Let's go grab one.
Yeah.
And maybe some of
Yeah,
those
all
people
the
are like,
guys that wanted one.
yeah, I'll grab one because these things are going to hold their value because, you know, stick. But long
Yeah.
term, because the 8-speed is arguably the better transmission, maybe it won't be as many people.
Quite
buying it.
possibly.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that would be really interesting to see if that actually holds up.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, as much as like we all like pray at the altar of 3 pedals, the ZF8 is so
So
good, like
good.
ridiculously good. That like it's the first like every ZF8 I've gotten into has always been like a car where it's like I'm not sure if I would want a clutch, man. Like this is
Well, you
really
drove my
good.
Clap to 180,000 kilometer 7, and
Yeah,
it's got a
and it's
ZF8.
still
And I was
fantastic.
like, really?
Yeah,
The shifts are fast. I was like, this is kind of weird. Like,
yeah.
I thought it was hilarious that when Nissan announced the Z Nismo, that they basically didn't learn from Toyota's mistake, and they're making that thing automatic only.
Yeah, let's. What
Well,
do they
maybe
say? Snatch defeat from the hands of victory.
Yeah.
That's Nissan.
But maybe they're doing the Toyota thing.
I was
where
gonna say,
you
maybe it's
drum
not
up
a
the
mistake,
you
yeah.
drum up the oh my god, I wish this thing came with
Yeah.
a stick. And when they release it with the stick, it's like bam.
So one of their execs actually said, kind of very loosely, that like, oh well, if the demand is there, we may consider
Which
it.
is
what
So
Toyota
they
said.
haven't.
You don't
yeah.
say that out loud because everyone's gonna wait for you to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, amateur move, guys.
But that's Nissan being Nissan.
All right. And the thing with that Z is that, unlike the Supra, the Z's automatic is terrible.
Right, yeah, so okay, so let's get into this. So like you had a Z 3-4 weeks ago, like
Yeah.
a Z Auto performance pack, right? Like
Yeah.
otherwise loaded.
Right?
9-speed
And
auto.
I don't think we talked about that very much. So like what did you think about that car? Because I only drove I think it was Ben's stick
Yes.
presser last year.
So the automatic, it's like a 9-speed, and I think it's like a Mercedes Jatco unit or
Yeah.
something.
Oh.
And
Those aren't.
it
very good,
really
are they?
ruins the experience. The car itself it's not going to win a bunch of Excel spreadsheet competitions, but it's actually not bad. It has this sort of old school charm to it, I find. Like, it's not perfect, but that's kind of what's good about it, that it's not clinical in nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the automatic just kind of, like, I would not buy that car because of the automatic. It's that bad. It like
Wow.
slurs.
Wow.
It slurs shifts. It gets confused. The rev matching is slow as heck.
Oh.
Like, it is really bad.
I wonder how much of that you can fix with like a tune or something.
Well, that's what it is. They're using the same transmission, right? Apparently, it's
Really?
been fortified and
Yeah.
yada yada
That's
yada.
what I've read too.
In the Nismo.
I mean, I'm sure they'll like go over it and brighten it up. Like they have to,
They're gonna have to,
right?
yeah.
Like
But like, it was so. It's one of those like, it was so bad. Is this like a lipstick on a pig situation?
Probably.
I mean, that Mercedes 9-speed isn't very good either.
No, I don't think I've enjoyed anything that's in.
I'm not 100% sure. Is it a collab trans or like they bought from Mercedes?
The way
Does
it
Mercedes
drives, I
have a
feel like
9-speed?
they just took it off the shelf and threw it in.
Yeah,
Wow.
this will work.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the automatic Z is supposed to be faster to 60 than the manual one.
I bet it is, and it's like
I'm surprised.
that would track, right? It would keep boost on. Like there's a reason why most modern automatics are faster than their stick counterparts, but
They also
Yeah.
shift quite quickly.
But
Yeah.
that's also like, again, that Z is not. It's not the car to win you the drag races. It's
Yeah.
not the car to, again, win the spreadsheet battle.
So at the very
right?
least, it should be a car that you enjoy.
that
which
you
it
enjoy,
does,
right?
doesn't
Yeah.
do.
And so I've driven the manual as well. And you said you drove the manual.
the manual's-
I really like the manual.
The manual Z is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's the best new old car on the market.
That's the best way to put it.
better
Yeah.
than the
The
GR
best
Corolla
new
because the
old
GR
car.
Corolla is a really good old car.
I haven't driven a GR Corolla.
Neither have
I
I.
can tell you.
It's basically an STI, but like
Better.
Yeah.
yeah, but.
But what does a GR Corolla cost?
Well, it starts at 45-ish.
Which is about the same as a 370?
Actually, yeah. Come to think of it,
400
it's,
now.
it's like right
yeah.
in line with the,
Yeah.
But it's still a 370, I think, under the skin.
Yeah.
basically, yeah. But
Yeah.
with it's basically a 370 with the Q60 twin turbo V6. But we digress. The pricing actually lines up pretty consistently, but between the GR Corolla and the
400.
Z.
Yeah.
Z.
It's just the Z.
What?
It's technically
Actually, hang
not
on.
400.
We've all been calling it something different. What is it? Is it a Fairlady? Is it a
It's the Z.
400 Z?
It's
just
the Z.
Just the Z now.
Just on
Z.
Z.
Okay.
Nissan.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't go with 400.
Wait, what is it?
It's just Z. Nissan
Oh, it's
Z.
just Z now.
Oh,
Yeah.
it
How
was
do
so
we
good
all
that we
not know
all.
this?
It was so good that we all needed to know its name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, what is this called? Whatever.
That is approximately how much impression it made on me last year. I liked it, but it wasn't blown away. And for like, I think like to get the performance pack and the limited slip diff, which I'm of the opinion is a non-negotiable in a
Yeah,
new
it's a
performance
must-have.
car, brought it up to what, 63 grand?
thereabouts.
Oh.
Yeah, it.
And you're very deep into
That's
super
a lo-
territory at that
oh,
price point.
absolutely.
And
Yeah,
Supra's a whole
absolutely.
lot more car, I think.
That is a really nice BMW at that point.
With the
BMWs are good.
Yeah.
They agreed.
we made progress here, people. Nathan and Rush agreed.
Who would disagree with a B58?
You
Yeah,
can't.
good.
You can't.
No, and you know what? There's got to be someone, but it's a.
Our founder
fantastic
would probably
powertrain.
disagree. Every time I bring up the B58, he goes, "No, it's the S63, bro."
What?
Every time I bring up the B58, Adi says it's the V8. The V8's the best engine, which I vehemently disagree
Okay,
with.
here's
V8's
the-
very good.
here's the thing.
Vehemently disagree.
Here is the thing. Okay, even though I the V8 is quite good now.
Yeah.
Like after they've sorted out all the issues, the same way that the N54 and the 55 were kind of meh.
Yeah.
They're both fantastic engines in their own right, but they all had like Achilles heels.
Yeah.
The B58 is just
a tank.
a tank. It is
A
the
tank
modern day
that sounds good.
2JZ.
Yeah.
Right? Like it is the modern day tuner engine that people will buy, play with, and have a ton of fun with.
Yeah.
The S63, I don't know if you can do that. Like that's the thing. Like you just buy it and enjoy it. Like I don't. I think you would have to be made of money.
Yeah. Has the B58 been cracked open yet? I thought we hadn't been able to do tunes on those. Or I could be talking out of my ass here. but
I thought they were
I
able
thought
to,
they hadn't
yeah.
been cracked open yet.
No, B58s are tuned like left, right, and center.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, okay. What am I thinking? Whatever, forget it. I'm thinking of something else that hasn't been cracked open yet. Something modernish BMW.
I thought the Corvette hasn't been cracked, has it? The new one, the C8.
Yeah,
There's all those people trying to like twin turbo them weren't able to.
Also,
Right.
just for listeners, just in case they don't know, the B58 can be found in many vehicles, such as
Right, such as pretty much any six-cylinder BMW. So
Anything that ends
pretty
with a
much
40,
Yeah,
yeah.
any M40i BMW is that glorious B58 twin
not
turbo
even,
six-cylinder.
like M40s, because like the 340
right.
is that an
Right. Well, no, because it's in the name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, but like even like the regular 340i from a couple of years ago was a B58.
was a B58. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like they've started doing the delineated M40i, M50i
Exactly.
on cars where they can't integrate it into the name. Like you can't have like an X640i. Actually, why couldn't you?
You could.
This
No, you
is
definitely
ridiculous.
could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that name is really dumb.
What else can you find in
don't
a
open that
Supra?
can of worms.
What else has it? Supra?
The
Yeah,
Supra
Supra's got
does,
the
yeah.
B58, and that's why it's
Fantastic.
Good.
fucking
Yeah.
glorious.
And then wait, the S63 can be found in.
Everything else, that's BMW and big.
Yeah, all the big V8. So like I think the M50i and M60i cars. So like my X6 that I have this week, that's like the higher spec. Well, that's an N63.
N63,
N63. The S63 has all the M engines.
M5, M6, M8,
Yeah.
M6. Never mind. Before, anyways, there's many different fantastic BMW engines.
Yeah.
But
They're very good, and the 6 is the best one.
the 6 is a very, very good engine. I think the V8 though,
Like it's very good.
it is very good. And now that they've sorted it out, like okay, because the BMW V8 made its way into the Range Rover,
Yeah,
and even in that application, it was quite good.
it's very good there. Yeah,
Like, these are
it's
things.
very good in everything, but the 6 is
The
better.
autobiography that we had like 2 or 3 months ago, I was
had it, no?
genuinely surprised
That was a 6?
how much you could.
No, that was an 8.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
That was a
sorry,
BMW 8 though,
Like-
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we had like
And
SV
63
autobiography, like a
R.
$300,000
That
like
thing was
crazy loaded SUV.
Loud.
Yeah.
That sounded great.
It was great because like it's one of those cases where like they could have tuned out that noise and made it quieter, and
Yeah,
they
they
didn't
just kept
because
it.
it's gangster and it like is perfect.
So with the
Yeah.
M8 competition,
Yeah.
I was driving and a friend was in the passenger seat, and when you upshift on that thing,
I think it sounds like trash.
it has this like very bassy
Yeah.
baritone,
Yeah.
like, but it's almost like it's like something heavy was dropped.
Yeah,
Yes.
Which I have not heard in like any other.
I don't like that
car.
about BMW's V8s.
I don't know. I thought it was kind
The
of
first
theatrical.
I
Like,
kind of
the
liked
first-
it. I
is it fake though, or
Okay,
is it? Because I
so-
don't
no, it's not.
understand
But Nathan-
what it is.
Nathan and I were in the car together,
Yeah.
and he said he did not like it. And I was like, but it kind of sounds cool, and it's probably doing it for a reason. If it isn't, it's absolutely
Stupid.
yeah. But I think it's like something to do with timing and leaving fuel in for the turbos to stay spinning.
Yeah, it's probably keeping the turbos hot. I'm gonna go with that as a performancey reason.
Yeah.
I don't think modern BMW V8s sound good like at full song. They just sound
What
a little
modern
too
V8 sounds good?
the Lexus V8.
No,
the Yamaha V8.
No. But
Yeah.
those those are NA, very different.
Very different.
Because they're not muffled by the
What
turbo.
tur-
You didn't
what
qualify
tur-
that,
what
though. You
turbo
didn't say
date?
what turbo.
Yeah.
Heck,
V8s.
Ferrari
Yeah.
Turbo 8s don't sound good.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Ferrari turbo.
They sound like a regular Ferrari V8 except worse.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
But regular Ferrari depends what kind of Ferrari V8. 5 valves when they're running.
Cinque
Fantastic.
valvole, glorious.
Woo! For the 6 seconds they run until they explode. We don't have any experience with that though.
So wait,
No.
Absolutely not.
what was the final consensus on this M8 baritone sound? I liked it. Nick?
It's a real thing and I like it.
I do not care for it.
Honestly, the first few times I gave it the beans, like I thought I broke the car.
Right? Yeah, at first
but,
same thing.
But like I kind of grew like it. Like I did like that. I guess like that crack on upshifts. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you could call it a crack.
What's-
Well,
that's kind
but
of
it's a
interesting.
big crack.
But like it's like okay, you were saying did you have it in like the hardest the hardest shift mode? Like full blam, I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
hit
guess-
you in the back of the head
Yeah,
with
because
a
we
hammer.
set it to like maximum
No.
violence, and it
No,
was
I did.
Imran's yep.
I did the level 2 violence.
Okay, so I think any level of violence is gonna have that noise. And in the E60, I remember this quite
E60 M5.
E60 M5, which was like a 2006 for people that aren't up to date with their chassis codes, I guess.
which is a lot of people.
That is a lot of
They're
people.
not all dorks like us.
All nerds, yeah.
Yeah.
If you put that thing up to the highest level of violence with an SMG, it would do a very similar like
Blam.
noise, and also it would
Yeah.
like physically like punch you in the back of the face. Like it was just like no, like
in the back of the face.
Right in the
That's
back
what he
of the
said.
face.
Let's just
Yeah,
say
you
the
feel it
back
punch
of the
through your
face.
skull.
feel it
So
in the
right
back of your
So the
face
back
hole.
of your head.
No, back
No,
of your
back
Back
face.
of your
face,
face.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes through your
All
head.
right.
I think that's just a thing though. Like I don't know what it is.
Yes, and I
But
think-
like it was violent enough that when I drove that car, I was like, "Oh my god, I broke it." No.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Oh my god, I broke it. Oh no. Okay, never mind.
maybe that's why they discontinued the MDCT, because everyone thought they broke it, and also because the ZF8 is just so
The
good.
ZF8 is fantastic. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it is God's transmission.
You know what made me somewhat sad today? The fact that Mitsubishi is considering discontinuing the Mirage.
Oh
Just a little bit sad.
Where's the vigil?
Okay, you know what? The Mirage. I've only ever seen a Mirage in ridiculous colors too. We had the gold one
Yeah.
with like the performance pack, or no, appearance pack.
Skirt package.
Oh my god! And it was like what,
Ground
a couple
effects.
grand worth of like body kit.
Pretty much.
Okay, this does matter though, because the Mirage.
It's
What's
the
it
last-
priced
it was
at
the
today?
last cheap shit box for
What?
for all the people that complain
What's
about
left?
no one makes
There's
cheap
nothing
cars
left.
anymore.
Yeah.
No one makes a cheap, basic, whatever peace of mind, simple new car anymore. The Mirage was that car, and like 6 people bought one.
I've seen
What
3 in my neighborhood.
else can you get?
But they're
for,
all the cleaners.
What else?
Yeah.
What else can you get for like $16,000 that is brand new?
See, I think that's
Will
the
probably
qualifier,
poison
right?
you with like the new car smell.
Yeah.
And has a full warranty.
Because you should be getting, okay, if you have $15,000, you should be getting into something used, and it should be okay. But the problem is, then you can't do new car things like have a warranty and finance and
Yeah,
do all those.
I got my
fantastic things.
535 for that much. I mean, like, it's a no.
But that's the thing, like, and as much as we like to be like, oh, why would you spend $15,000 on a Mirage? I can get a 10-year-old 7
yeah.
Series. This is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah,
Wait a second.
Yeah, but there are
most-
people who like take that peace of mind in having just a new car, just
Yeah.
a cheap,
Well-
honest to god, basic new car, and the Mirage was the last one.
But is the
we
Mirage
also had the
any good?
I don't
Jury's-
think that. I don't
jury's
think that.
split on that.
I don't think that
No,
matters.
but I mean, like, is it broken all the time? Like, I don't know. I've never had any experience with these things. Like, is there any dealer support? Like, do Mitsubishi dealers exist anymore? I haven't
Yeah, they're
seen one in
selling
the longest time.
Outlanders by the large unit of measurement.
But, like,
Insert volume here.
but you get what I'm saying. Like,
In
when's
post.
the last time you've seen a Mirage? Like,
Broken. When was the last time I saw a Mirage? Period.
That's
Is the
the
bigger thing.
it's
I
a
mean, no one bought
Mirage,
one.
yeah.
They're not.
It's a Mirage.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm a new dad. That's
Get
a
out
dad
of here,
joke.
you're fired.
Do you really see a Mirage on the road?
That's the thing. Like, I don't actually know if it's a good new car.
It's a new car and it's cheap. And now it is
Exactly.
dead.
Like that's all that matters.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be good.
Yeah.
Someone just wants a new car.
Yeah, there were some
with a
people
warranty.
that just wanted a basic. There was some mans that wanted to buy some like basic new car for his kid to go to school with, and he wanted to get something new so that he could be absolutely sure, air quotes, that it wasn't going to break, and that was that car.
What about like anything else?
anything
what?
else.
What else is priced
anything else is
anywhere
like
near
is 10 grand more.
20
Even
grand.
the stupid Nissan Kicks I had last year, which was a great little car, was 27 grand.
It starts at 22.
Yeah.
What
be
about like?
fair.
Oh my god, there's nothing.
No,
There's
there
nothing.
isn't.
The only other car was
Elantra?
the Nissan
Oh,
Micra.
Elantra, but that would have no AC. It would be stick. The Essential or whatever they call it.
Yeah, like the Nissan Micra was the last like other basic car, which
Starts
I
at
think-
22,
Way better than
955,
Mirage.
85.
Sorry, run
Yeah,
that,
it's a
run
big-
that by
that's a
again.
big
I think I
difference.
cut you off
23
there.
grand for the Elantra.
23 grand for a base Elantra.
Yes.
Oh, 20,400 MSRP, but once you tack on all the fees and whatnot, before taxes, it's 22,955.
Okay.
So how much was the Mirage? 15.
Thereabouts. It started off as like under 10, but
Okay, so
Yeah,
what does a
eventually.
Mirage look like in a weekly payment or a monthly payment, whatever?
I don't know,
Well,
$7.
$10.
That's what I'm saying. Like 15 versus 20. Think about that for a second. It's actually
Yeah,
not
that's
that
a-
big of a difference.
Well, I mean, no, hang on, amortized over like 2 or 3 years, like it's a lot. It add up.
Yeah, and just over like overall cost as a percentage.
Yeah,
Go
it's
from 15 to
30% more.
22.
Yeah,
Like that's a
But
lot.
I think you would probably get 30% more car.
you would get 30% more car, but there were some people, apparently 6 of them, that didn't want 30% more car.
No, but there's enough people that were smart enough to realize we don't want this, and now the Mirage doesn't exist. See ya.
And that's where we're at with that.
Rip. Most of us had the privilege of nerding out at Oblivion. For those who are unfamiliar with it, it's a 80s and 90s car show that is hosted every summer, and naturally, we brought our shitty 90s shitboxes to the show. Nathan, what did you bring?
I brought my Leave Behind, a lime green 99 VW Beetle 5-speed.
Yeah.
Don't all jump on me at once, guys.
Guys specifically.
Guys, yes.
Guys, that thing was a surprising dude magnet at the show.
That car got a lot of attention because who cares about Beetles? Like, I'm probably the last person on earth that cares.
No, I like them.
Yeah, they're a decent little car. Actually,
You guys
New
are doing
Beetles.
something.
New
Something
Beetles.
else.
Yeah.
Two.
Like,
We're up to 2
new
items.
Beetles
We're up
are
to 2.
very nice.
yeah.
Like,
Well, like the new ones that are basically like Mark 6s.
fantastic.
Those are actually kind of sick.
Yeah,
I like those.
I actually really like those. What about
Yeah.
you?
No.
No? What? Why?
No.
That's a very flat no. You
Is
have
it just like-
you want to back that up there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like the
They've
same
never.
thing as your Golf, just better.
Better.
No, definitely not. But like, it's different. It's cool. I don't know.
I guess. Like when they first came out, they're kind of quirky.
Yeah. I mean, for you, I don't see you as a Beetle man.
Do I look like a Beetle man to you?
No.
Yeah,
Absolutely
you definitely
not.
do.
No.
You were quirky as shit.
Yeah, but like, look at my other cars. Like, there's the stupid XJR and the stupid 535, both like very menacing, sporty sedans, and then also this lime green
Menacing?
Beetle.
I would not call the 535 menacing.
I was
It's kind of menacing.
It's
Dude, your
classic.
Jaguar has a little
Yeah,
kitty
it's,
on the front,
it's very like.
It does have a kitty on the front, yes.
and
So
it goes like
people know I'm
12
fun.
kilometers an hour,
Yeah,
kilometers an hour, miles per hour.
miles per hour.
Look, the Beetle
But it
was
does them
the
very
Beetle was
classily.
cool for sure
I think
at some
and
point.
his is TDI, and which
Yeah, it's a weird spec.
that's like
being,
a whole like
yeah,
different
with the BBS
genre of like
yeah,
car people.
yeah.
TDI people.
Suddenly becomes like vaguely legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will give you credit because it was the only one that was
It's
there.
the only one there. I was
That's
actually
true.
so like I submitted like my 535 and that car, and I did not expect that car to get approved because like it's a curated list. Like you have to
Yeah.
submit and then be approved to bring the car in. I'd submit it as a joke, and I was shocked to my core when it got approved.
Yeah.
I was stoked though. I was so pleased to see it there.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome!
It's like,
This-
oh, look at my little $2,000 shit box getting attention. That's wonderful.
It was the first time I went to the show, and
Yeah.
I was just, it was amazing.
It was so cool. My first
It
time
was like hot as hell, like
Yeah.
literally hot as hell.
too. Yeah.
But it was cool to see, like this is now our classic car show. Like when we grew up and we
I
went
refuse
to.
to believe that.
That's the reality, man. The
Yeah.
'90s were over 30 years ago. Like let's be real, right?
Why
Like
gotta be like that?
I think I'm the oldest of this bunch, so.
Yeah, so why gotta be like that?
But yeah, it's crazy though, because you'd go to car shows when you were younger, and it was all like American muscle stuff always.
Yeah,
And
all
now
the
it's
same stuff at the
and
show and
at
shows.
Oblivion,
Yeah.
it was this cool like mismatch.
It was so
of
diverse.
everything,
Yeah, 'cause
right?
I remember that. I used to not like going to shows because it was always like Mustang, Camaros, Corvettes, just like
That's
the
it.
same red car over and over again.
Also,
and, like,
the
Oblivion,
owners are also a very specific type of person that
The same guy over and
never
over
respect you as a child.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
But Oblivion is just like a bunch of people that
Yeah, it was just
love
so
their
diverse and
quirky,
like
Yeah.
random cars.
yeah, and like you could talk to a dude who was just absolutely stoked about his Volvo 960, which picked up an award that day.
Yeah.
And like
put-
it's
What
just
award
the
did it
nicest-
take?
I think it was like best daily.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think a good example of Oblivion is the cars that we had there. You literally had a 535 parked beside a
Lime green beetle.
lime green beetle.
lime green beetle
Parked
parked beside a Camry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a 90s Camry,
Yeah.
a mint 90s Camry,
Yeah.
parked beside a 550 Maranello.
Yeah. Yeah, parked beside a Ferrari, and no one cared about the Ferrari.
Yeah, but just like that's the diversity.
Yeah,
Right? Like that was a prime example.
yeah, it was really cool to watch people like walk up and check out those 4 cars, and like it was the Camry and the Beetle.
Everyone loved the
I mean,
Camry.
Yeah.
we're not exactly not guilty of bringing a Camaro to the show because
That's right, yes,
staff
because,
writer,
yeah.
Zach Zoraldo,
Right.
he,
Yeah.
he brought his Camaro.
Yeah.
And
His dad's Camaro. That
yeah.
it's been in the family since
Yeah,
day one.
that
It
is
has
really
like,
cool.
and has like
That-
There's the
800
American
million
angle.
miles
We
of
have
yes.
everything.
There you go.
Yeah, but it was like a base V6 Camaro.
Yeah.
Like you don't see those ever. Like
Yeah.
who keeps those? And like they did, and it's incredibly clean. Like it was actually so cool. to
And,
see.
Very respectable.
Yeah, and that got a lot of attention too. Like that thing was because who keeps those, right? It was really cool.
I'm surprised. Ben was one of the only 2 people who brought ITRs to the show, interior type Rs.
How many ITRs are there around?
Like around a tree.
No, like
Oh,
no, that's your
Chopper for
911.
parts?
ouch.
Ooh. It's unaround a tree now. It was a post. It wasn't even a tree.
But yeah, like I was a little surprised there wasn't more like, for lack of a better term, higher end JDM stuff. I expected
Yeah.
to see a little more of that.
Like
Well,
there
there was
was
like
an
there was
NSX.
an
Yeah,
NSX.
there
I think there were 2.
there was
What else
two.
was
There was
higher?
2 of them.
Two.
There was a
There's-
yellow and
yeah,
a
there was
red
like a
one.
good amount of like FDs, but they almost all were like pretty broed out, except for the one that Chuck from Mazda brought, which was
Yeah.
gorgeous. That was probably my favorite car.
Which
that
one?
day.
Which one was that? Black one?
It was the black one without the spoiler, with like the little
gold wheels.
No. There was one by Mazda's tent with the 2 Miatas that was like black, red leather, no spoiler,
Okay.
that you like never see, because everyone.
Wow,
Goes
this
to
man
town on
has
those
zero
things.
recollection of that car.
Yeah. No.
The Sunstroke was real that
Again,
day.
I'm the oldest of the bunch.
Your memory starts to fade as you get older. Sunstroke starts to get the best of you.
Just
What
senile
was your
dementia.
highlight?
Don't talk about it.
Let's see.
Imran, what was your highlight of the show?
I really liked, for nostalgia purposes, that XJ220 just because of
Yeah.
Need for Speed.
Oh.
That is wicked.
I love that thing.
Oh, you guys saw the purple Diablo?
and that.
That
they were
is-
parked next.
wow,
They were
wow,
parked
wow,
next to
wow.
each
That
other.
was pretty rad.
Yeah.
I'd still take a
Sick.
Diablo, not the Diablo, the XJ220 every single time.
Yeah, it's just like that's.
What?
To be honest, personally, that's the second time I've seen it in one in person. It's
Yeah.
the same one.
You know, it was
But-
oh yeah. That's
Okay, well,
Right.
hang on. Like you and I have both talked about this. Like we've never driven one, but we know enough about them to know that a Diablo is like an objectively terrible vehicle to drive.
But so is the XJ220.
So
no, by all accounts, they're pretty good.
yeah, so the XJ220 was just. I don't know if it's a Need for Speed thing, but I don't know if you guys remember Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah. Oh, that car
it
looks
was
so good in that.
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
It's in there for a second.
And it's a
There-
very
it's
good
in the
second.
loading.
And it
I would
made-
pause it.
yeah.
I would
Yeah.
pause.
And it made an impression on
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I would just be like, "Oh my god, XJ220!" Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like literally a background car for a second.
So
Yeah.
when we used to work at, or when I was working at Grand Touring, like in Toronto, they had an XJ220 on the hoist for as long as I was there, for a couple of months, and I was like, well, whatever, just some broken Jaguar. I think it completely desensitized me to that car. The Diablo, on the other hand, early ones, like the purple one that you guys saw, not very good, but later ones, quite good.
Later ones apparently are very good. Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Diablo is one of those cars, though. It's because it's a crazy color and it's a Lamborghini.
It's
but the
such an
XJ220, I guess, is in a way. I think I'd be staring at that
Yeah.
for longer
I think it's a more striking
had I
shape.
been at Oblivion.
Like the XJ220 looks like a UFO.
Yeah.
Like it looks
Absolutely.
like absolutely nothing
Straight
else
out of
ever
space.
built. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's got a V6 in it.
Yeah,
But it's
that's
gotta be
the-
six.
Yeah,
But, like-
the cat got neutered before
Yeah.
This
it
is
was
a
let out.
35-year-old complaint that we're still harping on Jaguar about.
Because
that car-
Jaguar does that. Like,
Well,
they
no,
build
because-
fantastic machines, and they're like, wait.
Well, no, because that car was originally supposed to be like a big V12 and all-wheel
Yep.
drive, and they're like, okay, well, we're not doing all-wheel drive, and
Now
you
we
guys
don't
were
have
like,
enough money.
okay, fine, and then they're like, actually, we're doing a turbo V6, and everyone started to claw back their deposits.
Yep.
They're like, no, we're doing this. It's gonna be sick, and it was 217 miles an hour in '91. Like it was the fastest car in the world.
For a moment.
for a brief
Split
moment.
second.
Whatever.
But it
let's not
was.
split
It
hairs
was.
over that.
Yep.
Until what, the McLaren F1 came
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like that
Yeah.
engine now, like it's very easy to like you just get the turbos rebuilt with modern stuff, and you're pushing 700 comfortably, just like with the F40, right? All those like
Well, let me
late
ask you a
Group
question.
B, C era
Who
cars.
the heck is going to rebuild their turbos in their XJ 220 and push 700 horsepower?
Lots of people.
Really?
Everyone who gets them reconditioned ups them.
All of Nathan's friends do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know like 6 homies with XJ 220s. Yeah, they all also got F40s, and they get their shit redid.
We're his poverty friends.
Obviously.
Ouch.
Look, I read it in a magazine, okay?
Oh, that's Nathan. Nathan is the king of forums, and he's oh my god, Nathan is the most memeable guy because he's like, no, trust me, I read it on a forum, and I'm like, are you sure, Nathan? Are you sure?
No. When I say trust me, it's because I've already fucked it up in the past. I know exactly how it works
But then
because I did it wrong.
the second fucking happens.
Yeah, because it's me. I don't learn.
I'm like, Nathan, what if we just do this by the book? No.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Guys, it's
oh, yeah,
probably
yeah,
fine.
it's probably fine. Yeah. You know what? But that's the way that things get done around here, and everything works out.
Look, all this to say, XJ220, sick.
Yeah. So, was your favorite car the XJ220 at the show, or is there something else you like?
What would you take home?
You like
Of all
the
the cars
F8,
in the
you were
show,
just saying.
what would you take home?
Oh, shit. There was a really nice E32, like an early 90s Alpina 7 series that like really struck
blue
my
one?
attention. Yeah, no, the blue one was the E38. There was a dark gray one, a Diamond Schwartz E32. It was a B11. That was
Good
an
lord.
absolutely gorgeous car. And I got a real soft spot for E32s in general. That era of BMW.
Golden.
So that was the first car that comes to mind.
Yeah,
You know what,
there's a
that's
couple of
probably
the E36 M3s were nice too.
There's a couple really nice ones there too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
that I forget what it's the 5.6 that Benz, that big
I didn't.
black wide. I know it's a little when you get close to it, it's a little.
I didn't
kinda
love that
flat,
car.
but
Like I get
from
what he
a
was trying to go
distance,
for, but like
it looked
like,
boss.
from a distance it looked boss, but like his front fitment was kind of gank, and like that body glass was body
Yeah.
kit was
Yeah, you
fiberglass,
can
and
see
like
it.
obviously fiberglass.
But at first glance, like it.
Yeah, at first glance, like yo, that's sick, and then you look at it closer, like yo, that BMW's dope.
The one that's like still occupying my mind rent free is the black E38.
Yeah,
Sub
just
40
a
aisle
very
on the
nice
M
clean.
parallels.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
right.
was
right, and there's nothing like
gorgeous.
specifically special about that. It's not particularly rare or unique. It's just a clean E38 740 on parallels, and like,
Yeah.
yep, that is the best
It was
body and wheel combination
gorgeous.
possibly
That's
ever.
the other issue though with E38s. And, you know, it's the transmission. Have you ever driven one?
Not a 38, no.
No.
Oh, because it's the old GM trans, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like having the E39
Hmm.
with a stick. A lot of people have swapped like the stick out of an E39 and put it into the E38.
Yeah, make fix.
Which sounds like a great idea until you realize now you just have a big sedan that's a stick, and you're like, wait, but this is kind of
yeah, but it's more different.
No, that sounds kind of cool to me.
Yeah, it's more
no,
different.
it is cool. I respect the heck out of it, but then the people that own them don't really like them because what is it? Like, is it a daily
Yeah.
or is it a fun car with a stick? I don't know. Like,
What
it's
about
kind of
gray
lost.
zone?
It's a GT Cruiser. It's like
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
It's sick.
like I've seen S62 swapped E38s with the stick.
Those are rad.
Those are fantastic.
Yeah.
But again, like, when are you gonna roast the tires off of like your big limo? I know it sounds so
it's not
cool.
even that much bigger than a 5 is the thing. Like a 5 is already a big heavy car, and an E38 over that is like, I think, what, 4 or 5 inches longer and like 200 pounds heavier?
You should know that 4 or 5 inches makes a big difference.
I, in particular, should know.
Oh. And on that bombshell, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Rush, Nathan, Imran, it's also great to have you guys in the studio. Stay tuned for the next episode of the DoubleClutch.ca podcast. Should be landing next Tuesday. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks
Very
for
good.
listening.
have a good one.
Thanks for having us.